Messiah new flower this on the ends, representing the flames. Yo, the one after the honorable priest Isaac. Some boy if you know this. Hear me now. Antigua are the place where priest Isaac dwell. Ancient Israel, ancient story fit tell. Yes, yes. Up a Lalibela where the monk them a dwell. With them mescal them a broke evil spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. His foundations in the whole of mountain. Priest Isaac on the whole of mountain. Him black a reverence on the whole of mountain. Him chant a psalm on the whole of mountain. But never hesitate for yell the king. I Tega, I Zaro, Einin. So proud yes to be an offspring. Mystic vibration of the people them a sing. Angel, mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where him dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Trot on the banks of the gully. Isaac trod it through the hills and the valley. Trod it through the town, through the bloody city. Highly, 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 always with we. Highly, 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 I protect we. Highly, 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 I would never leave we.
Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program. Whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair, the mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah.
Love yourself
here with you on a wonderful evening, looking to officially step into the 27th day of September. Well, according to the whole Babylon setup, this is the evening of the 26th, but the evening cometh before the morning, so technically we could consider this to be the 27th day of September, in all full celebration of the day of Mascal, the commemoration, the feast of Mascal, I should say, the commemoration of the finding of the true cross of Christ. Where is my Mascal? Okay, I have my Mascal right here, with me. Officially from Ethiopia, I got my Mascal. Enough respect to brother Israel Dyer, for providing me with, my holy cross and such. And as I said, we give thanks for such celebration, and of course in Ethiopia and anywhere that the Orthodox gather, and those of us who, are thankful for the Ethiopian Foundation. One of the big things that is definitely in the news today is, of course, the conviction that came down on Bill Cosby. And it is something that I would like to touch upon. I don't want to mix it up with this conversation tonight, because it may seems as if the conversation I'm going to have tonight may appear as if I may be taking a swipe at either Bill Cosby or even Bob Marley, because I put the two of them together. So I'm going to totally separate that. And I'm going to do a very short video. Well, I'm saying short for now. Let's see what happens. I'm going to do a short video on brother Bill Cosby. I'm going to put that on the YouTube, so you could look out for that. Now, as far as Bob Marley now, the way I'm going to handle this conversation, this is going to be one of the more serious, I would consider, conversation that we are going to have here. Why I say serious? On the level of the way it's going to be accepted by many, many, many people. And I will tell you how I'm going to bring this over. This conversation is going to be a conversation of concern. The concern is coming from your brother, being me. I'm concerned and I need your help. Now, I'm not going to bring it forward any other way. Because if I bring it forward another way, because you know me, I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling. You know that. I'm not a person that I don't want to make nobody cry. Yeah. And, I don't want to lose no friends. I want everybody to like me. Them kind of way there. That's impossible, brother. That's foolishness. Like you. Cha. Sometimes you gotta give thanks for your haters. Because if you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing. You better believe that, I was just kind of, if you want to say, tugging it there a while ago. Sometimes when I get in my passion and you hear me say, I do not care what people think, there's a level to that. It means that the truth is the truth. And you can't be checking for people because you speaking the truth. You get it? But the reality is, I am concerned with what those who I love think. That's what life is all about. And even sometimes when you bring the truth, you don't want to throw it on the floor and waste it. You really want your people to comprehend what you're saying. Now, to me, the subject for tonight is very important. It's not trivial, and it's not anything to underlook and sweep under the carpet. Oh, brother, you're gone too far. We're going to be dealing with the song Kinky Reggae. And I want to understand exactly what is being spoken of here in this song Kinky Reggae. And I think that before you condemn me for this, you should commend me for observing something and not being afraid or ashamed or too timid to bring it to the public, because I never heard nobody discuss this, and I think it's worthy of discussion. So, let us begin. Minutes moving up into the hour of 7 o'clock. Shock of the hour.
I went downtown. I saw Miss Brown. She had brown sugar.
Wow.
All over her booga-wooga. I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. See, I just can't settle down in a kinky part of town. Right on. Don't you know I've got to? Oh, baby. Right on. See, I just can't settle down. Oh, I'm a-leavin town. Kinky reggae. Take me away. Kinky reggae.
Take me away.
Oh, kinky reggae. All I've got to say. Kinky reggae now.
All right, sometimes, you're in the jam, you're in the dance, you're in the Rasta dance, and that song drop. Brother, you say, drop! Rastafari, pull that up again. Now, kinky, especially in this instance here, kinky is a word that means sexy. I don't think that there's anyone that will disagree with me. Kinky is a word that means sexy. You have the kink of your hair, but that's a different kinky. Kinky means sexy. I mean, you don't have to run from it. And according to the narrative of that first verse, it's obviously somewhat esoteric, somewhat metaphoric. I went downtown. I saw Miss Brown. Give thanks, it's not Mrs. But I saw Miss Brown. Now she had brown sugar all over her booga-wooga. I wonder what's her booga-wooga. What do you think that is? Her booga-wooga. Booga, hell, we used to call the hard snot that's coming out of your nostrils booga. I don't think that's what Brother Bob is speaking about when he says booga-wooga. She has what, brown sugar in her nose? Nah. Her booga-wooga, my son is pointing at his middle section. That's really what it is. Don't be shy, my lord. See, even the children know. The children know. We don't have no time to play around, The children know. So, and before, because we might put this on the YouTube, please don't thumbs down my video, at least not yet. You don't even know where I'm going. I'm positive you don't know where I'm going, because many of us have not gone there. So before you thumbs down, because you see, Bob Marley is our prophet, and Bob Marley is our Messiah, and Bob Marley is second to Haile Selassie to some of us that are Ras. I'm just telling you how many of us think. What I just said is not necessarily my sentiments, but I'm just telling you how most of you think. So you've taken Bob Marley, let's be clear, you've taken Bob Marley and put him in a religious box. Is it? I don't know if he asked for that. It's not about Bob. It's about many of our characters, good people that we have taken and put in a religious box, and some of them never really asked to be in a religious box. I can even say the same about the emperor, and put in a religious box and kind of take it beyond what it really is. So now, when you appear to be critiquing, and I'm not necessarily critiquing the good old brother Bob, I just want to understand what he's saying here. So she had brown sugar all over her booga-wooga. Come on, let's just speed it up and get it out the way. I thought I would join the fun, but I had to hit and run because I just can't settle down. in a kinky part of town. Now, is there anybody that would disagree with me if I was to say that Brother Bob was speaking about sexual intercourse? So what's wrong with that? What are you, a monk? What's wrong? I mean, come on, even if I was a monk, brother, I didn't say something wrong. In fact, I'm not condemning nobody for singing them. I mean, he's a man, isn't he? You know, I don't know his marital status when he wrote that song. And if you'd be surprised how I look into that song. This is an ancient song. This is one of the older versions that you heard here. In fact, Brother Bob sang this song basically till the last day. You know, so I mean, he's a man. I'm sure most brothers could, what could I say, understand what he's talking about, and go with the flow. All right. So I just want, before we move on, I just want to be clear that Brother Bob is talking about sexual intercourse. Miss Brown, brown sugar, booga-wooga, have fun, hit and run, can't settle down. One night stand, man, hit and run. One night stand. You know what's a one night stand, young man? That's when a fella meets a girl and they go and have fun for one night. It's not nothing, it doesn't have nothing to do with real love or appreciation. It's nothing for the future. It's just to exploit each other's body and have a little fun. Nothing too heavily spiritual, nothing. Just to ease some tension. Hit and run. That's what you call it. Hit and run. These are the phrases that we use for sexual intercourse now. Bang something tonight. You bang something tonight. Cut your throat. That's how they used to talk. Yeah, man, in the younger days, that's how we just talk, brother boy. Cut your throat. So that alone tells you where our mind is. You see a nice sister. I hope this conversation ain't too heavy for some of you, man. I know you love the song Kinky Reggae, so you should at least understand what Brother Bob is talking about. So some of us, we used to, wow, you know what I mean, see a girl we like and you go to the full distance, you come and tell your friends you cut her throat. That's disgusting. That is so sick. The fact that you would think like that, that is real awful. And that's to show you where most of our minds are. I hit that last night. Yeah. Murder that. boy. So I think we're in agreement that we're talking about kinkiness here, kinky reggae, sexual intercourse, hit and run, Miss Brown, booga-wooga, brown sugar. Straight up. Nobody can deny that. Nobody can be upset with that. And are we condemning Brother Bob for that? Oh, me? No way. I am just showing you, I mean, that's what music is about. You express yourself. Now the second verse of the song. The narrative is the same. And before I continue, I'm going to repeat again. Are we in agreement that the first verse, Kinky Reggae, is talking about sexual intercourse with a woman that had brown sugar, booga-wooga, hit and run? I'm sure there's nobody that can disagree. If you disagree with that, you got to tell me what he's talking about. So what is he talking about if he's not talking about that? All right, so that's what he's talking about. And to those in left field that are saying, so what? Well, I mean, I didn't say something. Let's continue. So now the second verse, the narrative is the same. Only thing different is that the place is different and he's going to encounter a different person. I went down to Piccadilly Circus. Down there, I saw Marcus. Remember the first verse, you know? The song is still kinky reggae, the song is, eh? I went downtown. I saw Miss Brown. She had brown sugar all over her booga-wooga. Now, in the second verse, Brother Bob says, I went down to Piccadilly Circus. Sound like he was in London. Down there, I saw Marcus. He had candy, let me get it straight. He had a candy tarts all over his chocolate bar. I thought I would join the fun, but I had to hit and run because I just can't settle down in a kinky part of town. Now I'm going to humble myself here, and I'm going to put myself, honestly, I'm going to put myself behind my desk and sit in my chair as if I'm the student here now. Because somebody got to teach me, somebody got to explain to me what this second verse is all about. I don't even want to believe, you know, that it's what it appears to be. Remember the first verse, you know. I don't think nobody in their right mind is going to deny that the first verse is what the first verse is. Sexual intercourse. Let's get real. Don't tell me I shouldn't be talking about this. When this song drop in the disco, you're going to dance and say, that's my song. Hey. So, explain the song.
Kinky reggae, oh baby. Kinky reggae now. It's gonna be kinky reggae. Give it up. Kinky reggae now. Now we say, right on, right on, right on. Oh, right on, baby. Right on, come on. Oh, now.
What, you're thinking about it? Let's go.
Hey, I went down to Piccadilly Circus. Down there I saw Marcus. He had a candy tart all over his chocolate bar. I think I might join the fun, but I had to hit and run. See, I just can't settle down in a kinky, kinky part of town. Nice one.
Nice
That's
one.
what they said.
That's what they said.
But I'm believing you today. Nice one. Oh, darling, please don't play. Mama say, kinky reggae, kinky reggae. Kinky reggae now. Take it or leave it.
Take it
Kinky reggae.
or leave it.
Leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Kinky reggae now. Stinky reggae.
Stinky reggae. That's why he said stinky reggae. No, he said it. I mean, I followed the song. A lot of riding, brother. A lot of riding. Kinky as kinky can be.
Smurfy as Smurfy can be.
Smurfy as Smurfy can be. And there's a part in there where he actually says stinky reggae. I mean, I've played this a million times to make sure, and slow motion, all kind of things. Stinky reggae, you know. Okay. Alright, let me go back into teaching mode now. I ain't guessing better. This ain't no guess thing. There's certain things that I'm not sure of. But there are other things that I know for sure. You see, there's a episode we did, Mystic Vibration, on the YouTube, and Yes, we did a program directly dealing with Michael Jackson. And that's right there on the YouTube. If you have not seen that, I would advise you take a look at that. I'm sure my subscribers have all at least watched that. And sometimes it's good to revisit it. Even I myself, sometimes I revisit, the programs that I do. And you would see how we took the different songs from Brother Michael Jackson. Of course, before we went into the song part of it, we had to, break down some of his history and give you a good understanding of exactly where he's coming from. And, we put a few mystics to it and, Joseph Jackson. And we showed that from our own opinion, Michael Jackson is not just a gifted human being, but a spiritual human being. That was an angel amongst us, brother. That was one of the little Moseses that the Pharaoh said, make sure you kill them before they start to walk and talk. Trust me, they didn't kill him like that. Well, they killed him eventually, but you know what I mean. I never saw nothing like that. In the same way they lick off the nose of the Sphinx, the Hermeket, they lick off the nose of this statue and nose of that statue. The amount of statues they lick off the nose to hide the identity of the statue. They lick off Michael Jackson's nose right in front of our faces. He turned basically from a black, beautiful man to whatever he was after that. He just looked different, I can't tell you. He may have been a beautiful human being, but obviously something wasn't right. And I've received so many comments from that video that I did. Many people have contacted me saying, man, I look at Michael Jackson differently, because people used to always condemn him. But after listening how I put it out, because in his songs, the point I'm making is that in his songs, Michael Jackson was releasing certain messages that up to now, the vast majority of us have not even tapped into. That's what I'm saying. So we started with Billie Jean, and we explained that Billie Jean is the music industry, Billy the Goat, the pagan industry. Every head turned with eyes that dream of being the one who would dance on the floor in the round. She said, I am the one who will dance in the floor, in the round, Freemasonry. In the round, the hangman noose. That's the round, dance in the round. And he himself, showed you for 40 days and for 40 nights, the law was on her side. 40 days, 40 nights. There's so many mystics in it. I took my baby to the doctor with a fever, but nothing he found by the time this hit the street. They said she had a breakdown. Someone is always trying to keep my baby crying and squealing, conniving and lying. You got my baby crying. You want to be starting something. That ain't no love song. I'm not going to break it down here. We have done that already. That's why, give thanks for those that are in the front of the class and those that when they go home for homework, if they don't have no homework, they still review the notes. That's how we do it. So you got to keep watching and listening. I myself review the notes. You understand? What was that other song? Stranger in Moscow. That alone tells it all. Stranger in Moscow. Here abandoned in my fame. Armageddon of the brain. KGB is stalking me. My oh my, just let me be. There's a part where he say, take my name and just let me be. You understand? I was walking in the rain. Mask for life, feeling insane. Swift and sudden fall from grace. Oh, I'm telling you. And we take that as a love song too. And the song for free, really. Hold me. How long will you, if wrong, will you scold me? And these different things that he was saying specifically at the end of the song. That was a troubled human being. An extremely talented brother. A brother who had a heart and had a mind. Look how he wrapped up Sony. He left with half of Sony. He left with the catalog of other singers and artists that the industry have robbed. From the Beatles to Little Richard to, I think, half of the music industry of country western. The man had his hand on that too. He was a nigger that they had to take out. Don't mind how he looked bleach out. He was still another nigger to them. That's why they said, nah, man. This man is turned white, his head is straight, his hair is straight, and he's still acting like this. We gotta take him out. So, not dwelling too long on Brother Michael, I'm just trying to show you that Brother Michael was trying to tell us a lot of things in his songs. Some of his points were very clear, and we still overlooked it. Like, what's that big song in Brazil? They don't really care about us. Skinhead, deadhead, and I mean, that was plain in our face. And if you notice, he had to write that clearly, because all of the mysticism he was putting in his song, that was just flying over our heads. We didn't get it, so he had to make it plain. They don't really care about us, and we still didn't get it. He just had to make it plain. Why don't you leave me alone? And we still didn't get the message. He just had to make it plain. Why you wanna trip on me? And we still didn't get it. Remember the time. Boy, that's a love song. So you had to do a video with Eddie Murphy to show you, yo, and Magic Johnson, hey, this is what I'm talking about. The ancient Egyptian civilization. And we kind of got that, but the vast majority of it, we missed it. You know, and I know many of you condemn Brother Michael Jackson because you are Mr. Holy and self-righteous, and you're not wrong with you, and you say all sorts of things about him, man. But I would advise you to listen to that episode that we did on him before you, if you have not listened to it. Watch it. Go on YouTube and type in Priest Isaac / Michael Jackson something, and it will come up. And listen to that. Watch that video that we did. And then, you know, revisit your thoughts as it relates to him. I'm advising you to watch it. If you watched it before, take a look at it again, you know, before you move on. And we touched upon just the music industry in general. Like just the other day, that actor that came out, I can't remember his name, and that the bald head black man that plays, he's a kind of comedian and one of those, I can't remember his name, but whatever, he came out and he got a lot of fire for defending a lot of the sisters and women in the entertainment industry that are, you know, that have been coming forward and proclaiming that they have been misused and abused and sexually assaulted by some of the big wheelers in the entertainment industry. And this actor, the black man, you should know who I'm talking about. The name just is not there with me now. And he's letting you know, man, listen, this happens all the time. The interview that the program we're going to do on Whitney Houston, we're going to do it soon. Whitney Houston clearly shows you that, well, she has been caught in certain situations before, and she managed to get out, and she knows a lot of people that have not gotten out in her business now, which is the music industry. So when it comes to music and entertainment, it's no joke. You know, the only thing is that some of the artists try to tell you it in their songs. So you would have a Tupac maybe trying to give you a message in the song. You would have a Michael Jackson trying to tell you what's going on in his songs. You would have a whoever you have trying to, you know, sneak in some sort of message to let you understand this is what's really going on behind the scene. Because most of the music does have a message in one way or the other. That's why sometimes when you play some of these music in reverse, you get a totally different song altogether with a different message. A few years ago, there was this CD going around. When you play back some of the same Michael Jackson song, you hear a lot of praise Satan and this and that and whatever. I wouldn't deny that at all. It's just reality. Hotel California by the Eagles, I could never deny none of that. This is the Illuminati. This is how that stuff runs. So I'm not saying that Michael Jackson was not caught up in the fantasy, yet reality of the music industry. You don't just really, no matter how much talent you have, you know, even if you're Michael Jordan and nobody can stop you, still to reach to a certain level in their world, it's as if you got to do something that would go against your whole morals and what mama taught you. Yeah. And the whole thing about sacrifice is very big in their world. Okay. And you gotta sleep with the fellas at the top in the penthouse. Let's come on, man. You gotta sleep with the fellas in the penthouse. What, I'm lying? Come on, some of you that are listening, you know even more than me. When you reach to a certain ranks in the music industry, or if you want to get us to a certain ranks in the music industry and the entertainment industry, you got to sell your soul sometimes. So it sells souls. It is throwing away your pride. You got to become a homosexual. You got to do things that you would never do. You got to, let me be clear here, put your mouth where you would have never put your mouth. Let's just be clear here. This ain't pretend, let's pretend or guess what's behind door number 3. This is what's going on. This is your life with Guy Smiley. Yeah. Sesame Street. Snuffleupagus Gus and Big Bird. You think these killers have time to play with you and Ernie and Bert? They have an agenda. They have a standing principle that they have to keep up. So that's why when people like Prince and other ones try to change the agenda and try to edify us secretly, and that's one of the things I must say. I was not in their position, but sometimes I think they could be a little more clear. And same thing with Michael Jackson. Because in all honesty, sometimes when brother sings, you may not pick up even the word to begin to dissect the word. And that is why I said even in the latter time, you heard him saying things with more clarity, straight up, and tell you, well, listen, this is what it is. Because when he was singing about Dirty Diana, I mean, that ain't no love song neither. That's almost like Pimper's Paradise. That was no love song. That was something totally different altogether. But then again, the esoteric may have been too heavy for some of us. Okay, go and watch the video, because I can't go no more with that. Now, I'm saying all of that to come back to Brother Bob. Brother Bob said that he went down to Piccadilly Circus. Now, before we continue that, Brother Bob Marley, is another esoteric master. Do you know what I'm doing here? There was once I did a program highlighting this exact same thing. I lost friends for that. That's why I'm bringing it like this. People argue with me, and some people came up to me saying, I did it locally, and some people came up to me saying, oh, what are you trying to say? Bob Marley is not the king of reggae. I never said Bob Marley is not the king of reggae. Who else could be the Bob Marley is the king of reggae. But I don't mean he's the king of the world. They have the king of all kind of things in a man. Yeah, you have the king of rock and roll, you got a king of golf, you got a king of basketball, you have the king of car racing. Every little thing has the king. And as far as reggae goes, I think that's the top notch. So even the song Pimper's Paradise, that is like one of my all-time favorites. Because within Pimper's Paradise, there is a mystic imagery that has been drawn, man. That's a song that I can see. When I hear that song, I see it. Pimper's Paradise, oh, that was she was now. That's a serious, serious song. His depths, he's not just speaking of some girl that's a prostitute, but he's speaking of a prostitute. The Bible speaks about the great mother harlot that rides upon the beast. That's a place, that's a city. Soon every head will bow. Yeah. It's deep, 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 deep song. And I don't think no one can deny that there's something about Bob Marley's expression, his voice, the way he sings. That, I mean, is almost, you cannot compare. You hear a remnants of it in his children, but you really cannot compare basically anyone to him on that level. You know, obviously within the reggae industry, they have people that stand out by themselves too, that you can't compare nobody to them, not even Bob. I don't think there's anybody you can compare to Gregory Isaac. Oh no, man, that's no, impossible. Don't even try. And Dennis Brown, and of course Burning Spear Culture. All these people are in a class by themselves. Peter Tosh, and I have a Peter Tosh song to drop before we go, so don't go nowhere. Yeah, a song that Peter Tosh did about Bob Marley. Some of you don't know it. You say that you are lion, iron, but you can't go as iron. Who said that? Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh. And at the end, he made it clear who he was speaking about. All right. Okay. Went down to Piccadilly Circus. Down there, I saw Marcus. He had the caramel top or caramel tart all over his chocolate stick. I think I would join the fun, but I had to hit and run. You know, someone was showing me, but listen good, he said he had to leave it, he had to hit and run. But what does hit and run mean? He didn't say he had to run, you know. He said he had to hit and run. Okay, let's go back to verse 1. What did he do with Miss Brown? That had the brown sugar over her booga-wooga, because he had to hit and run there too. Because he can't settle down. That's why it's hit and run. It's a one-night stand. That's verse 1. So when he met Marcus now, and I really hope for his sake, I'm talking about Bob Marley. I don't care what you think. For his sake, I hope he ain't talking about Marcus Garvey, because we ain't playing with that. Whatever he talking about, that's his business. Don't be playing with the prophet, brother. Whether you're dead or alive, don't ramp with the prophet. With them foolishness you're talking about there. You know, because I'm trying to see this, you know. I'm trying to see this as something took place in the vampire world of the music industry. And maybe he's just explaining to us the reality of the world. You know, maybe he's just even giving you an example of what he may have gone through. Maybe he cannot come straight out and tell you the reality of it, so he kind of put it in a song and kind of cover it up and hope that one day somebody will decode it. I've never heard nobody even bring this up in a conversation. Never. But you know, my ears are always open, and my mystic satellite and receiver is always on. So we're listening to the mystic vibration man here. What song there? The natural mystic. We're listening to Mr. Natural Mystic. So we're listening for the mystics. And I'm going to say this again. The main point, you can't run from it. If verse 1 is talking about sex with Mrs. Brown, verse 2 is talking about, I don't know if you can call it sex, but it's talking about getting down with the Marcus at the Piccadilly Circus, straight up. You can't deny that. If you try to deny that, don't lose yourself, man. Some of you're too religious. You're too religious, so you're gonna be quick to say, oh, nothing got so that I don't want Bob say. That's exactly what Bob's saying. We're too religious, man. That's what he's saying. Before you take the time to look at it and say, well, maybe he's saying that this is what the industry is about. Maybe he is saying that he had a share in that before, but he break away. You know, because he did hit, but he ran. Why you don't take the time? Don't just jump to conclusion, because again, we worship these people, you know. When people worship people, you can't say nothing bad about people, you know, because people worship them. Don't be afraid to take a next look at Bob. What's wrong? He's a human being. Don't be afraid. As I said the other night, I think the whole world knows that he's a mixture of both black and white. People say that is to show that he came to save both black and white. Everybody have their own philosophy. But as I highlighted, that if you are a Bible believer, because some of us, as Ras, you know, we're strong Bible believers. Some even come down on me and say that I don't believe in the Bible enough. Alright, so how much do you believe in the Bible? According to the Bible, Bob Marley is a Caucasian. No matter what he claims, according to the Bible. Well, science, I understand the science talk. But I'm speaking to the Bible believers. According to the Bible, the seed of the man is what decides what the child is. The seed of the man, again, is the same way. When a man marries a woman, the woman takes the man's name. So according to the Bible, it is the seed of the man that decides that what the child is. If the child is Judah, the child is Levite, or even if the child is an Israelite. So if an Israelite has a child with a Hittite woman, the child is not considered a Hittite, even if it look exactly like the mother and don't look nothing like the father. The point is, it's still considered an Israelite because the child is an Israelite. If a Hittite man has a child with an Israelite woman, the child is considered a Hittite. Okay. Now, very mystic, in that situation there. So I'm just saying, and I'm asking too. Let's be honest, what do you think about that? You have to have a good answer for this, Don't just get upset with me and try to say that I'm this and this and this and that. Take your time. Look into it properly. Because even the time that we took to look into Michael Jackson and explain his situation properly, in all honesty, we have not taken the same time to look into Bob Marley's situation properly. But what I know is this, and you can't hide from this, is that Robert Nesta Marley was not just at the top of the reggae charts, We're talking about Billboard, top of the Billboard charts, etc. No, you don't really just get there like that. This is my point. In that world, you do have to pass through a few doors to get where you want to get. You do have to go to the penthouse sometimes. Again, you do have to do things that you would not ordinarily do. And again, maybe the brother was just telling you his experience. Maybe he was also warning you of what takes place. Because I'm telling you, I know some artists. Should I call their name to say who tell me this? Let me be clear, man. Junior Kelly, I Wayne. I was with Junior Kelly and I Wayne. We spent the day at Nacio Fonte's yard in Dominica, burning chalice with I Wayne. I think Junior Kelly at the time said he didn't smoke the herb. Well, I ain't judging nobody. He was singing Boom Jah, though, you have a song, give me the Boom Jah, strong Jah, but he wasn't smoking the herb. I'm just telling you. And they were, explaining to me that, man, when you see we travel, go Europe and so on, when you go in the hotel room, everything there for you. You have herb, you have cocaine, and some other kind of drugs. You have water, you have Hennessy, you have Moet, you have Dom Perignon, and you have a couple girls on the bed too. Everything that you want. That's what them man tell me. I will tell myself. So if you're not, and I'm telling you I won't get into that. In fact, he was telling me that. In the energy of burning fire and that. So enough respect to the man I win. My brethren there. Bless up. Enough powers to I win, man. What are you talking about? But I'm just showing you the reality of the world now. How many of us can, turn down these offers? I for sure will take the herb. Yes, I for sure would take the herb. But how strong are we to tell the girls that are on the bed, sisters, you gotta leave the room now? How many of us can do that? Let's be straight. How many of us can tell the girls sitting on the bed, sister, you got to leave the room now? And as I said, Brother Bob is very esoteric in his singing. Many other songs. You just got to take the time to listen. So obviously he's saying something there. He is saying something. Whether he's speaking of his experience, whether he's trying to tell you what really goes on, but he's saying something there. And it doesn't sound nice at all, at least not in my ears. Now the elders now, we did a program when we were talking about why some of the elders burn reggae music. And in that's another video that if you have not watched that, go on the YouTube and check it out. And we explained in that some of these elders, I've met with Bona G's, Bongo Watu. And Bongo Watu is not reggae. I listen to him, well, them man do burn reggae for real, you know. Yeah, man, the man don't play with reggae. Bongo Watu burn Bob Marley hard, you know, man. Bongo Watu burn Bob Marley hard. A lot of them elders consider that Bob Marley, as some of you that is not Ras, especially most of you that are not Ras, you're going to be quick to try to defend Bob against our elders. But our elders tell you what they know. That when the brother come on the scene, that lead a lot of Ras astray. From what you got to understand, you know, the elders, you can't disrespect the elders. I ain't going to stand and see nobody disrespect none of them elders there. The elders, if you a play Rasta, rent the dread and fashion dread, you keep up your thing. Them elders serious. Whether you think the two Bible or the two whatever, your business that. They consider Rastafari as a holy thing. A churchical order. Not no reggae stage show. Not no tight jeans and leather jacket. Straight up. Some of the elders will tell you clearly, it's chalice we burning all the time. Now this big head thing, because that's what we call a big head spliff, you know, a bob. And the little skinny thing, we call it a Ziggy. Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley. Figure it out. So the elders have a different look on this. You know, and some would say, well, the elders, this is a new generation. You know, I love new generation stuff too. But you don't move the ancient landmark. That's what I'm saying. So you got to reconsider this, man. Peter Tosh. Peter Tosh. What you going to say about Peter Tosh now?
The song saying, Lion, Iron, you can't go to Zion. See, for example, there are lots of guys who wear dreadlocks who is 1 million miles away from Rasta. They are like night to day. See? And I know the concept of Rasta means righteousness.
So have you ever heard this one? And tell me what you think of it.
You're talking about lion, iron, but you can't go to Zion. Talking about lion, iron, but you're far from Zion. I only hear your words.
Okay.
But I don't see no works.
Wow.
You think my father's fool. You never get away, no matter what you say, 'cause you have broken my father's rule.
So who you talk about?
And then you come around lion.
Who sing that song?
Iron.
And Iron and Lion.
But you can't go to Zion.
Who?
Talking about lion.
Bunny Wailer?
Iron.
Burning Spear?
But you far from Zion.
Dennis Brown?
Knocks on your head. Talking about your trade. And you believe that is all. Down here on your face.
Tell you.
And your works in disgrace. You and the wicked, them must fall. And then you're talking about lion, iron. But you can't go to Zion. Talking about lion, iron. But you're far from Zion.
No.
Preach love in the days, and you kill in the night.
Wow.
And you believe that is right. Put down Zion. I am the lion. I am. And I must go to Zion, cause I am the lion. I am. And I must go to Zion, no make you lion. I am. And I must go to Zion, I am the lion. I am. And I must go to Zion, cause I am the lion. I am. And I must go to Zion, no make you lion.
Now listen to this good now. Listen. Hear that?
Step back like a big tail boy.
Now, I think we all comprehend that we know that there was a little rift between Peter Tosh and Bob. And again, to be honest, I try to even take this in a way that, mothers and fathers argue, and mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, brothers and brothers, family members get into certain situations that are not nice. And we have a phrase in the Caribbean where we say, you can't get between bark and tree. You know, the bark is like the outer coat of the tree. You can't get between bark and tree. And so Peter Tosh, obviously, a lot of these songs, they're not going to come, just like you have people having beef in reggae, in hip-hop, you have the same thing in reggae. It may not come out the same way. It's obvious, man. Historically, we know that they had their own little problems. When Bob Marley said that, is not he say to call Bob Marley, call the Wailers Bob Marley and the Wailers. I don't know how much you follow Bunny Wailer. Bunny Wailer tell you the whole truth, man. Bunny Wailer explain. Bunny Wailer don't rate Chris Blackwell at all. Bunny Wailer do not rate Rita Marley at all, man. He definitely loved Bob, and he kind of seemed to be skeptical with Peter Tosh, but Bunny Wailer would show you that there was some serious rift amongst I. Peter Tosh, brand new second hand. I think we all know what he was singing about. You have a brand new second hand girl. That's Rita Marley. A boy now, yo, brand new. Wow, what a scene. So it's obvious there's a family feud in the music amongst them. So who's Iron Lion Zion? Come on, I am the rock. No, I'm on the rock. And then I take a stock. I had to run like a fugitive to save the life I live. Now I am iron like a lion in Zion. Yeah, man. Them songs, Strength 99 in them early days, man. Yeah. But we know who sing that song. And that's an old song, Iron Lion Zion. It's not no new song. It has an old rhythm too. The Iron Lion Zion. So Bob Marley made Iron Lion Zion famous. Peter Tosh and Bob Marley have a little friction, and then Peter Tosh come out saying, "You're talking about lion, iron, but you can't go a Zion." So who we singing about? Richard Nixon? No, man, the man talking about Bob Marley. So why? Why would he say these things? Locks on your head, but you ain't no dread. Why would he say these things? And you do good in the day and come out in the night. Why would he be saying these things? Again, sometimes when you hear the elders have their little confrontation, you gotta leave it for their level. But at the same time, there has to be a reason why he would think he had to even go as far as making a song to express himself. That's all. So when some of us want to pretend that we don't want to hear about this, and we don't tell us no more, and stick in our head in the sand like the fictitious ostrich, because the real ostriches don't stick their head in no sand. And which sand? I don't know where the sand come from. Ostriches don't do that. But we've been taught that ostriches stick their head in the sand. So like the fictitious ostriches that don't exist, some of us like to stick our head in the sand. Yeah, and monkeys like banana and rats like cheese. It's television teaches all them foolishness. Nothing gossip. You know, that's to show how much we have been led astray. We did a video on Bob Marley, talking about the report that came out with the CIA that killed Bob Marley. You should go and watch that too. Because if you watch that, you would see exactly how we feel about that situation directly. Because some of you, you know, oh, this and that, and you're ready to even jump on me. But as Bob Marley himself said, how long will they kill our prophets while they stand aside and look? Even when we found out that the CIA agent said that he killed Bob Marley, how many of you put yourself on the front line for me to make an hour-long video, you know, talking about that in the way that I spoke about it? I myself put my life on the line, you know. Let me be clear, you know. This ain't no easy thing you see we do it here, you know. It look nice to you, you know. Stacking up all them videos on the internet for research and review by the hands of Satan ain't nothing easy to do, you know. Is a chance we taking, you know. Every time we come and put something on air, we're taking a chance with our life just so you can get the word, and some of you don't even appreciate the word enough. I'm being very clear. You know I don't care. Well, I do care, but still I don't care. We put our life on the line so that you could get the word of right, even if it doesn't go on YouTube, even if you just get it in the email box. You're not the only person that got it. Don't you know that those who control the email have access to your email and have access to your this and access to your that? So when we come out now and we're speaking about the wrongs, the evil that men do, things that they wish you didn't hear, and we're spitting it out, and by the time you look around it has 2,000 views, they're going to consider us. They say, hey, look, who are these people here in the Caribbean that are always exposing us? So how long will they kill our prophets and we run away? Not just stand aside and look. We don't stand aside and look now. We run away. Same thing they did to Marcus Garvey. We blowing our nose and handkerchief in our hand. Oh, Marcus Garvey, when you coming back? When you coming back, my foot? If we were real people, that day that they were deporting Marcus Garvey, we would have go and, joined our hands and go out into the sea and pull back the ship. We could have do that. We could have do that, 4,000 people on the pier. We could have done that. But we're too chicken. How they lock up Bill Cosby. Now, I don't want to get there. I'm going to do a YouTube video on that. I don't want to go too deep there. You know, I don't know what Bill Cosby did. And it's sad that you have to begin the conversation by saying that just to appease people. But I don't know what he did. And I'm not going to encourage nobody molesting no woman. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I know, that's just another example to all of us to show us, no matter who you think you are, Bill Cosby or Michael Jackson, you're just, as Muhammad Ali said, you're just another nigger. That, to me, that's the moral of the story. Bill Cosby, the Barack Obama of the sitcom age, the man that showed us that we could be more than just, cotton pickers and janitors. We could be doctors, lawyers, and send our kids to college. That's Bill Cosby. He inspired the world of black people. He took us one up from the Jeffersons. Yeah. And now they just lock him up and throw him in jail for 3 to 10 years. We can't do nothing about that. What can you do? Even if he's innocent as innocent can be, what can you do to help him? Nothing. How long shall they kill our prophets? While we stand aside and look, run away, and all kind of things. Sometimes it's us that kill our own prophets. That's my point. You understand? So yeah, according to the report that came out, the CIA former agent said that he took out the man, Brother Bob. And you see, that's another thing too, Not because they take you out doesn't mean you ain't got nothing to do with them, you know. Because according to what they tell us, and this is very shady too, they take out Bin Laden. Although they never, to me they don't prove that, you know. But according to them, they take out Bin Laden. Bin Laden used to ramp with them. Noriega used to be on their payroll. And they take out and have Noriega lock up to now. But he was on their payroll. Some of these people that they used to pay and used to work with, the same Al-Qaeda and even Saddam Hussein, they had agreements with him, but all of a sudden, these fellas decide that they're going to do their own thing, and all of a sudden, they're the enemy. You understand? So obviously, you could say, according to the spy, they took out Bob Marley because he was too influential. So what is it that was happening behind the scenes? There was something going on behind the scenes. Something going on backstage that we're not sure of. And I honestly believe Kinky Reggae, the song, gives us a good window to what was going on backstage. And backstage is a very interesting phrase to use in this situation. And it's up to you to look into it properly. Don't judge, don't even try to judge me, man, and don't judge Peter Tosh. You look into it properly. Especially if you love reggae music so much and you love Bob so much. Well, you should be able to explain that. You know, if you can't explain that, you should condemn yourself. Don't condemn the one that bringing the message to enlighten us, man. Because to me, this was necessary to bring out to the front line. We ain't got no time to play. We don't have no time to play. We need to understand this, and especially, that's why Baba Shanti, you know, man, salvation order is the key, you know. People don't understand the King Emmanuel order. And Emmanuel too strict. And Emmanuel too this and that. Too much Sabbath. You have to wear this and wear that. And Baba too this and feel they too holy. And then they go dance and bonfire and Sizzler and say Sizzler can't rap your head and sing music and rah 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 rah. Yeah, but as I said, you don't understand how these ancient ones taught. King Emmanuel, the black Christ, man, the man see everything. So if no reggae music around King Emmanuel, you leave King Emmanuel alone. Don't try to dabble him in your foolishness. King Emmanuel called Bob Marley too, you know. Bob Marley never come. Bob Marley said he don't want to hear no old man teaching. Bob Marley said that, straight up. And there's more behind the scenes with that I'm not even bringing on the YouTube, that have to do with land and all kind of thing, and Rita Marley in the midst of it. But I'm not going to bring that on the YouTube. Do your own research. Up again, refer to wash my dread. Yeah, where that song come from? Do your own research. When did he sing that? Why did he sing that? What happened? What preceded him making that song? That's my point. So we need to dig deep into this and understand that this music business is not a joke. And be careful before you just take characters and try to turn them into winged angels. Let me be clear with that. Because some of you kind of get lost when you hear Bob Marley used to eat lobster and so. Yeah, man, I mean, I have brethren that move with Bob Marley that'll tell you, boy, I think that man yam anything, you know. And I see people get upset. No, man, Bob never eat no lobster. You knew Bob? Well, no, but the man that meet Bob and sit with Bob in the restaurant tell you that. Do you know, when some of us were coming in as Ras, I could remember just coming in, you know, and ones were saying, you know, Bob have children. This is before Junior Gang and so bus. All we knew about was Ziggy Marley. Man was telling us, your boy Bob, in a Rita alone, Bob have youth with, you know. Them times we didn't know the history too good, you know. But yeah, man, Bob have children with a couple white women. Who? The more fire again. Fire! Bob Marley don't have no children with no white woman, brother. Only to come to realize that that is more than true. But the point is now, can you condemn him for that? Can you condemn him? What's wrong with that? No, man, we don't back that. No, black man is supposed to have no white woman. But is he black? I just explained to you that biblically he would be considered a Caucasian. Now, scientifically and genetically, as far as we know, as when it comes to the mitochondrial DNA from the woman, where such memory and records are stored, we all have it, but it's stored in the woman. Through the woman lineage, you could trace exactly how far back you come from through the woman lineage, and that's science now. That's not biblical. So what I'm saying is that a man that is mixed with both black and white, and he decides, this is Baba talking, that he wants a white woman. What? Is it that he has the best of both worlds? I just want to know. Because Marcus Garvey speak against, interracial marriage and them kind of thing. There's another word for it. I can't remember the word, but the mixing of the races then. Marcus Garvey and many of us speak against that. I'm not for that at all, No, I'm not for that. No. I'm not for that. That's not something I promote at all. Just reality. So what I'm saying now, the product of that now, are you upset with him? How do you deal with that? So if he chooses to be with a white woman, and then maybe something happens and then he goes for a next woman and he chooses a black woman, can you be upset with that? If you are hardcore into black stick with black and white stick with white, and not just him, anyone else. Some people say mix supposed to go with mix. Look how the thing gets so confusing now. Wow, look how the thing just gets so totally out of whack. And I believe that in the creation of creation itself, you don't mix a tiger and a lion to get no liger. And it's not just liger. The Bengal tiger don't even mix with the Siberian tiger, not because they're tigers. They have ants that look alike. To the naked eye and the untrained eye, you could not differentiate between one ant and another ant. Yet still them two ants don't play around with each other. They don't even talk to each other. And they look alike. They have many species of ants, like 100 different species, and all of them just look black and big. And they're not the same, and they don't mix. One not gonna crawl into the other ant hill and try to play around with the queen. No. They keep it, nothing genetically modified here. Straight up, we have created different races. Some people say there were 4 original races, but we have turned that because of our mixing and all of these things. Different peoples have been created, and that's just the reality of it. Now I don't condemn no one for whoever they may be. I don't look at that. You can't tell me your father white and mother black, or your father black and mother white, and then me personally, I automatically start to analyze you because of that point. I don't do that. No, I analyze you for who you are, for your character. Straight up, I may be totally against the mixing of nation, but that's my principle. You got to take your time to understand me. I don't think like you. Honestly, I'd be straight to say that I don't think like other people. So I'm against that. But that don't mean I personally, you a product of that. I ain't gonna judge you for that. Like if you're alien. I gotta check your character. But the reality is now, that person that is mixed, where do they stand? I'm a black man, me personally. I would never ever go with a Caucasian woman, straight up. And that's my principle. But a mixed man like Brother Bob now, father white, and he obviously, according to how he speaks, he hold on to his African self. I never hear him trying to say he's a European. He speaks as if he's just as African as anybody else. I never hear him talk about, he's mixed white, nothing. I never hear him say that. That's just history that said that. But yet still when he go for the white woman, I hear people condemn him. How do you do that? I'm trying to figure out. That's all I want to know. So as you could see, I'm on the question asking tonight. But I know with all my questions, I've definitely opened your mind to things that you've never seen before. You've never even taken the time to contemplate it. So look into it. Don't just take music at face value and dance and all of these different things. If I was, let's just say, grooving to some music and you gonna drop any kinky reggae on me, I ain't gonna stop. I ain't gonna groove to no kinky reggae. Not unless I'm just doing it in a kind of fun fashion. You know, I like to bring humor sometimes. You know, I'm a humorous person. You know, don't take me different. I'm a humorous person, so I like to give a humor. I would use the term, when I was playing it a while ago, I was doing a little groove because I was just getting into the vibes. But I take that song seriously. I don't take it as no joke. I don't take it as no mistake. There's something going on behind that song. There's a serious agenda behind that song. And Bob Marley is saying something in that song, whether he wants you to hear it, whether he's trying to make you understand it, or he just had to say it and trying to cover it up. I don't know. But I know there's something serious and devilish in them words there. You can't be telling me you go and meet Marcus and he have a chocolate bar and caramel tarts on his chocolate bar, so sweet and nice, and you had to hit and run him. You had to hit him and then run because you can't settle down in this kinky environment. And you did the same thing with Miss Brown, who had all the booga-wooga sugar over her booga-wooga, the sugar over her booga-wooga. Same thing you did. Same thing. So go and listen to the song again. I ain't gonna play it. Listen it again. If you're into the reggae, and if you're into Bob Marley, if his poster is on your bedroom wall, and I'm sure many of us it is, if he's you use his picture for, what you call the stuff there, your screensaver, or for your WhatsApp picture, whatever. If you're that into him, you should have a good explanation for the song. Don't be vexed with me, because I'm not that into him like some of you, straight up. But if you are that into him, just like I'm that into Selassie I praise, is Emmanuel I into, Marcus Garvey I into. That's what I into. So when people come and have all kind of foolishness to say about the King of Kings, you don't think I go and look into it? Yeah, I go and look into it. I ain't gonna turn away like I don't want to hear. I want to see what they're talking about. They have this little foolish thing about Haile Selassie have this picture on his desk when he kneeling down to a white Jesus. Just give me a few moments. I don't have that set to come and attack that, I'm coming for the head of that. You understand? I come in for the head of that. You're not supposed to put no stupidness to me about Haile Selassie, and I cannot counteract it. So if what I said this evening might be a problem to you, counteract it. I didn't say nothing. Trust me, I didn't say nothing. I just opened your mind. I put it on the table for you to look into it, because it's a serious subject. And I think I could say something, but I prefer that you get it in a manner where you could sit and think sanely about what was said, so that you could make, holistic and educational decisions, instead of just going off and being superstitious, religious, or caught up in somebody's fantasy. And that's the reality of it. Hey, the music business, dread, You don't just move from here to there in the music business and don't do things, lay down with people you wish you never met. People have to spread out and cock out for people straight up. That's what it's about. It's a devilish industry. Ain't not nice there. Some of our brothers, they have artists in hip-hop. They have artists in reggae. Look at Akibika, Midnight. Akibika is the tops. They ain't got nobody that holding no microphone in their hand that say they're singing reggae music. That is the tops over Akibika. Nobody. They ain't got nobody. None of them. Nobody, no Jamaican artist, nothing. The feel no Jamaican artist, you know. You know me love it, but nobody can touch Midnight, Happy Mika, Vaughn Benjamin. I know Vaughn Benjamin personally. As you can see, he's well loved, but he's not soaring above the regular reggae artist though. Why? Maybe because he refused to bow. In hip hop, up to this day, there is not a hip hop artist that can compare to Rakim. You understand? The innovator, the game changer, and he managed to still stay alive. I mean, even in the industry, but yet still, for a long time, when you go to the young generation and ask them, hey, so you know about Rakim? I see you listening to Lil Wayne and listening to this man and that man. You ever heard about Rakim? Oh, I think I heard of him. He's one of them old dudes. And some of them would even tell you, no, they never heard of him. So why is that? When he is the god of hip hop. Why is that? Maybe he never crossed over. In the hip hop world, they call it crossover. Go pop, go R&B. But it's more than just going pop. Sometimes somebody gotta pop you. Straight up. Sometimes you don't just cross over. Somebody cross you over straight up. And that is how that world runs. Straight up. The entertainment world is like a pornography world all by itself. Kinky reggae. Not just, let me tell you a kinky story, you know. The song is named Kinky Story. He telling a story. But what does it have to do with reggae? Kinky reggae. Don't take it for no joke. Serious business. Yeah. Do you know it takes some real eyes? Real eyes I'm talking. Eyes in your, yeah. It takes some real eyes for you to realize the real lies that are amongst us. I'm thankful for them real eyes that I have. Because there are a lot of lies, some real lies that are amongst us. And when I use my real eyes and my third eye and my first eye, I realize what is really taking place. If you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. Blessed.
The war, we live in the spiritual war, you know. So we never talk about war. Don't think so we carry a gun and knife, you know. We're dealing with a higher divinity. The Rastaman vibration, which is lightning, earthquake, because the earth didn't come back for what it wants itself, you know.
Because man is trying to be as powerful as God.
This is the story.
No sun will shine in my day today. The high yellow moon
the lion's den. You hear the cry, dying men, the lion's in. To be part of Leviathan, to try and win. Go against the blind and win. It'll put the eye, the tiger in Iron Men. The heart beats like animals with dark sleep. Stalk to eat, in the jungle is concrete. Instead of wood, we use metal to draw heat. The habitat's the hood, they say we done gone beast. The tribal, in the deadly game of survival. Genocidal, read your Quran in the Bible. When the merciful get merciless, we need to read Psalm 82 verse 6. It's real, so make sure you do real things. Females, never forget you're still queens. Feel until you feel free with wings. In the mail, we ain't got the killer bee king.
Hungry jungle.
Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program. Whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair, the mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah God.
Yes, I know flower this on the ends, representing the flames. Yo, the one after the Honorable Priest Isaac. Some boy if you know this. Hear me now. Antigua are the place where Priest Isaac dwell. Ancient Israel, ancient story fit tell. Yes, yes. Up a Lalibela where the monk them a dwell. With them mescal them a broke evil spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. His foundations in the whole of mountain. Priest Isaac on the whole of mountain. Him block a reverence on the whole of mountain. Him chant a psalm on the whole of mountain. But never hesitate for yell the king. I take a Isaro Einin. So proud yes to be an offspring. Mystic vibration of the people them a sing. Angel, mystic vibration is an angel. And them nah go rebel. In a Zion where him dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Priest Isaac is an angel. Mystic vibration is an angel. And them now go rebel. In a Zion way we dwell. When we broke for them spell. Priest Isaac is an angel. Yes, he's my angel. Trot on the banks of the gully. Isaac trod it through the hills and the valley. Trod it through the town, through the bloody city. Highly, 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 always with we. Highly, 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 I'll protect we. Highly, highly, highly.